Now, I don't know what it's like in your country, but if you took a walk down any, main thoroughfare high street in any UK town over here, you'll often and very frequently be hit by that pungent smell of weed, cannabis, marijuana, whatever you want to call it, slapped in the face whether you like it or not. It just seems to be everywhere at the moment. And it was a similar situation when I was walking home from work the other evening, and that got me thinking. I thought, well, with all this, cannabis, marijuana around, surely the sector is absolutely booming at the moment. Or maybe I've got this wrong. Maybe it's the illegal side that is making all the money. So, dug into the charts, dug into the analysis, and wanted to see what was going on the legitimate side of the marijuana business, and whether I could find any decent stocks to have a look at, to have a play with, for the second half of 2022. So in this video, I'm going to put 3 forward that I think look pretty decent, and also have a quick overview of the marijuana sector, the cannabis sector as a whole. The results might surprise you. But yeah, it was an interesting look, and I hope these 3 stocks could be worth a further investigation, like I say, for the second part of 2022. So with that, let's have a look. So first, a quick look at the cannabis market as a whole. Now, I'm using this ETF from Global X as the proxy for that market. I love the ticker for it, POTX. And as you can see, and this is what quite surprised me, that the sector has really been doing really badly. Now, this ETF down 84% from inception in 2019. So it's not looking great. The probability calculator there on the right hand side giving us an 87.7% chance of a possible bullish play from this price point, but really that trend is looking pretty horrendous, and the market as a whole for cannabis stocks really not doing well when you, like I say, put it into comparison of its general usage and availability, and in our social conscience at the moment, it's really not doing that great, which surprised me. I don't know, it might not surprise you, but it did surprise me. So that made my task of finding some decent stocks in this sector a lot harder, but I have come up with 3 which I'm going to share now. So just a bit on the charts first. Up the top we've got a daily Heikin-Ashi chart, and the bottom we have a weekly Heikin-Ashi chart, just to give you a longer term perspective of what the stocks have been up to. So on to our first stock then. They're called Leafly Holdings, ticker LFLY, and they operate a platform to provide consumers with cannabis information and puts together consumers to cannabis brands and licensed retailers. So it's an interesting setup they've got there. Runs a subscription based marketplace listing, digital advertising, that sort of thing. So it's sort of like an information hub, a place to go to for getting connected in this marketplace. And as you can see from the stock price, hasn't been around for that long, only since the late 2019s. Been very flat, and then had that big sell-off into the early parts of 2022, but seems to have recovered nicely since, now pushing up to new highs and maybe looking to go further. Now, Ultra, ticker MO, a company you may or may not have heard of, but you've probably heard of their one of their subsidiaries, Philip Morris. They involved with smokable products, oral tobacco products, but also heavily into marijuana, cannabis side, as they look to diversify their product set, as the old world of tobacco became or has become less popular, and the growing market for cannabis and those sort of products has grown. And in terms of stock price, it's been, you know, pretty steady over the last year or so. Small growth to the upside, performing better than a lot of the others. Did have that dip from late 17, well, so early 17 through to 2020, and then since then has started to grow back once more, heading towards $60. Maybe can get back to above those highs and pushing 80 anytime soon. So my final selection is AbbVie, and they discover, develop, manufacture and sell pharmaceuticals worldwide and are heavily into the cannabis based products there. And as you can see from the stock price, probably one of the better looking out of the three, especially over the longer term, the weekly chart. The last 3 weeks though, all turning red, and we can see that reflected better in the daily price above that as the price pulls back. Maybe it's a good buying the dip opportunity, but remember, if you want to buy it, time your way in using other technical analysis and indicators. So there you go, 3 marijuana stocks for you to consider. Now let me know in those comments below whether you agree, disagree with that selection. Have I missed any that you would include? Where do you think the sector is going as, you know, a whole? We saw that ETF that you can also trade, invest in, not looking great, but the probability calculator showed us, you know, it's, you know, good upside potential there if things can turn around. So like I say, let me know in those comments what you think of the sector and stocks in it at the moment. Love to hear from you, and if you've liked today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons, and all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching, good luck with the trading, and I'll see you in the next video.